So, I finally cracked and bought the Callisto Protocol. I was skeptical because I knew it wasn't received well, but after waiting and waiting, I finally decided to pull the trigger. I figured there would be a lot of content, whether it be for the right or wrong reasons, so that brings us to where we are today. Some of you may know that I'm a trophy hunter, and trophy hunt I did. Except not really. But we will get into that. The game kicks off with us watching what appears to be a terrorist attack from a bot account in my chat. Okay. But really, the game starts with us watching a suspected terrorist attack on the news as we fly towards a prison on a moon called Callisto, hence the name of the game. We play as Jacob, a smuggler who's flying cargo into Black Iron Prison. We finish our talk with our co-pilot Max and go to inspect the ship when we find out it has been boarded, which pops our first trophy, the Outer Way, named after the group doing the boarding. We try to kill them, and they try to kill us, and eventually the altercation causes the ship to crash land.
What are you doing? No! Shit! Watch out! Hold on!
Am I supposed to be flying?
Brace for impact!
When we wake up, we find out Max suffered fatal wounds, and it seems we get over that ridiculously quick, besides being haunted by him the rest of the game, I guess. A prison guard and two of their robots show up, and we think we are being saved, but hey, it's Kimiko! Sorry, we find out they are actually just throwing us in as a prisoner as well. We get some crazy implant in the back of our neck and almost die, and next thing you know, we wake up in a cell to a prison being overrun by monsters.
All security personnel, report to the main cell block. This is not a drill. Please, remain calm. There is nothing to fear.
Oh yeah, surely not.
Somehow, our cell magically slides open and we get to moving. We come across a man named Elias who is still trapped in his cell, and he gives us a spiel about how he knows a way out before handing us a shiv and our second trophy.
What the fuck is going on? I don't know what the hell's going on. My ship crashed, I got thrown in here, and then I woke up to this.
Well, look. You're that pilot they just brought in, yeah? Yeah, well, look, I've been in here half my life. I know this place. I've got a plan to get out. If you help me out of this cell, I'll help you, yeah? Look, you can use this to get inside the control room across that bridge. You can open my cell from there. My name's Elias, by the way.
Jacob.
This my homie?
Might just save your life.
It's my homie!
We pop a door open with the shiv, pull another door open with our bare hands, and run into two inmates that try to kill us.
Yo! What the fuck? Yo, can I punch back? Oh shit! Yo!
After we launch the dude off the ledge, we turn around to face our first monster dude, where we dismember both of his arms with a crowbar and earn our next trophy.
Damn! Alright. We're chilling.
We hit the button and let Elias out of his cell. Try to go back to him, but the gate is broken, so we have to go all around the prison to get back to the watchtower to meet back up with Elias. We hop on the elevator, he tells us to take upwards a level, and go figure, it starts going down to some weird place called Solitary. On the way, we see a few people that had a really shitty time, literally, and find out that the prison robots are definitely not our friends. Who would have thought?
No, we're not infected!
Lethal force has been authorized. Area secured.
We slide through some vents, kill some infected, climb through another vent, and get our second weapon, a stun baton.
The lockup had already been raided. All that's left is this baton.
Stun baton, yeah. Those things do pack a punch, though. We're not gonna need it.
I don't know if I would have just threw the crowbar away. I feel like it would probably be pretty useful, but Jacob does what Jacob wants. We finally make it to the watchtower and come back across the guard from the beginning, who grabs us and tosses us around like we're at a casting couch. Lucky enough for us, he has to do one of those bad guy dialogues to look cooler, and it gets him yeeted out of the window.
I told you. This is my kingdom. It's all yours.
Damn!
He's definitely dead, I think. We meet up with Elias, and he hands us a lower part of a weapon that we can now use to print out our first gun, giving us our next trophy, paper jams.
Take that over to the Reforge. You can use it to print a new weapon.
There's a lot of different shits. Paper gems.
Elias finds us an inmate that can hack the systems and get us a ship to escape on, so we start our next mission to rescue them from maximum security, otherwise called the Shoe. On our way, we see a new type of infected that tongued down a guard, turning him into an infected.
Yummy! Oh.
We find the guard with his arm torn off and steal the GRP, or grip, to give us the telekinesis power we are all too familiar with already. We come across another Reforge station, and I drop my first upgrade into a new heavy attack for the baton, giving us the Reforge trophy. Trusting Elias, we hop onto an elevator.
Get inside. I can drive it from here.
You sure about that?
No, he wasn't. But we live so the game has a little more runtime.
We're fucked.
The system's not responding.
We're fucked. We're dead.
Manually.
What? How?
Just jam something into the brake. Jacob, you still with me?
Yeah, barely.
We fight off a couple of hickey monsters, and then an infected surprises me out of the grate from the floor, but luckily there was a big-ass fan on my side, and we get the workplace hazard trophy.
And just like that, we get another trophy. Let's fucking go.
We make it to the Shoe, and back to Elias. He starts up the tram to get us across to it, and as we make our way down, we get another trophy pop. As soon as you enter the Shoe, there's a fight with a wave of enemies as you turn the power back on, and I managed to grab both the Chew 'em Up and the Get a Grip trophies in this fight alone. After that, we open up the mystery prisoner's cell and find out that it is none other than Kamiko, Danny herself, the girl that boarded our ship. She cheap shots Jacob and throws him in her cell, and before Elias can get us out, he goes into emergency lockdown. Weird design, by the way, but they put the fuse box on the inside of the cell, so we were able to bust out pretty easily. Continuing our journey, we run into a robot that maybe you can sneak past? But I wouldn't know because I shot that bitch and unlocked another achievement called Terminated.
Really? Yo, that shit is weak.
Our new goal was to make it to the Habitat Dome because when we got locked in the cell, it made us unable to get on the tram with Elias. The dome is the next closest place Jacob would be able to board it, but to get there, we had to take a trip through the sewers. We slapped on a couple upgrades to our grip and discovered the new invisible enemy.
Help me. Nah, that's an invisible bitch. We don't do those. Nah, bruh. Nah, we get the fuck out. Nah, hell nah. We don't do invisible shit. I'm out of here.
And just when we thought things were getting easier, the floodgates released and we had to go for a swim.
You better fucking run, my boy. Oh, no.
Dang. The TMNT must have changed their diet. Somehow, someway, we latch onto a chain, climb up, and snag our next trophy.
This fucking place.
Nah, because if there's a water monster... No, okay, it's not deep. Never mind. It's another trophy, baby.
That was our last trophy of the day, but before I ended stream, I managed to make it to the Habitat Dome, murk another robot,
Critical failure detect heavy.
call the tram to the dome, and board it with Elias. Hey, who's that guy? Wait a second, I thought he died. The knockoff Wesker hits a button and sends us into the Ice Age, but instead of squirrels with peanuts, we get people with brain damage. Come to find out, someone was really damaged, meaning that Elias dies.
Come on!
No, bro. I'm done. Thank you. It's because of you. I got out.
And Danny shows up and basically confirms it before leaving us to freeze to death.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey!
We failed to save a survivor because to my knowledge there's literally no way to save him, so thank you Callisto Protocol for making me feel like I could have done something for him. Somehow, Danny and Jacob keep having these crazy reunions and she actually agrees to work together this time. Which is really nice because we actually need 2 people to be able to open the gates so we can take a snowcat to the hangar and get off this shithole. But first, she has to stop by our crash site to confirm her suspicions, except her suspicions were just wrong?
Open it.
Why?
Because I said so. We're not going anywhere until you do.
Yep, just like I told you.
But records show you made multiple drops right before the incident.
Me and a dozen other cargo ships.
Don't.
Or are they? But upon reaching the crash, we get the trophy crash site. Bet you didn't see that name coming. We make it to the hangar and finally see our way out, but the warden's hologram shows up and tries to kill us, confirming that he is, in fact, the person behind the situation. But is he acting alone? But anyways, as soon as you step off of the elevator, you get another trophy, in the pipe 5x5. We get sent into a Dead Space-esque freefall from the explosion and end up in an underground mine that was previously inhabited and evacuated.
My hand! Jacob!
Yo, they even hit us with the... They even hit us with the dead space falling, man.
We run into a new enemy down there that is blind but very sensitive to sound. Sounds a little familiar? Because of this, we are able to sneak up behind them and backstab them pretty easily. After stabbing 5 of these blind enemies in the back, we snag the Giving Back trophy.
Say, can you please turn the other way? Giving Back! We got enough takedowns for a trophy too. Let's go, dude.
We make our way to an elevator that has no power, pick up a keycard that gets us through a gate leading to the generator that we have to start up by pulling 3 levers. After pulling the 3rd lever, we get the Power Up trophy, and make our way back to the elevator.
Power's on. I should get back to that platform.
Power up, baby!
Once we make it back, we get a barrage of enemies sent at us on the ride, but if you have enough GRP batteries, it makes this section very easy. Just grab them and throw them off the side over and over again. That is, until Mr. Two Heads hops on. Now this dude right here is a bullet sponge. I thought I was pretty well kitted at this point in time, but after this fight, I was almost completely out of ammo. After taking him out though, you get the trophy, 2 heads are better than 1. Eventually we navigate through this underground city and find a big dome set up around the mining site. We go deeper into the dome and find a giant dead monster that they had cordoned off to study and pull samples from. Upon going through the door to this monster, you get the trophy, What Lies Beneath. We also see a crate identical to the ones we were transporting and find out that we were, in fact, smuggling very bad things. I don't think Jacob knew exactly what he was transporting, and finding out it was what has caused all this gave him some kind of guilt and a little bit of character development we will see later. Knockoff Wesker shows up and tries to kill us, but I am that guy, so of course we get away unscathed.
Alright, this is fucking...
Yeah. Danny gets the door unlocked, and we escape the grasp of the Umbrella Corporation once more. But when... These comparisons are too easy, man. But when we turn around, we see Danny with a hickey monster on their face. Why does everyone have to die in these kinds of games? Just kidding! Apparently a doctor that studied this infection knows how to create a cure and decides to help us. Which is pretty useful, being that we get knocked out by robots. The doctor manages to reroute the robot that took Danny. But not the one that has us, of course. But on the bright side, when it throws us back into our cell, we get another trophy, Full Circle.
Full circle, we're back in the cell.
Our cell door pops open again, and we make our way to Danny and the doctor. When we get there, we see that Black Iron has been using prisoners to study this infection for quite some time. Doc gives us a gun that we must use to extract some blood from an infected, and we make our way forward, towards what turns out to be the final fight of the game. But before opening up the door, we hit up the Reforge station again and hit our final upgrade for the first pistol, unlocking the You Need a Gun trophy, for us fully upgrading any one of the guns. We open the door and see the warden talking to a collective group that apparently has plans for human evolution no matter the cost. A whole cult of psychopaths that will kill all of mankind in an attempt to preserve us and make us stronger. But of course, Knockoff Wesker has to crash the nice and civil conversation. We beat his ass for a minute or so before he mutates into whatever this is. We gotta break a shield that covers his face and then just get a solid amount of damage onto his head. I'm not gonna lie, for him literally only having 2 attacks, this took me a decent amount of tries. But in the end, we take him down and shove the needle gun into his eye socket to concoct a cure for Danny. The warden pops back up and tries to convince us to give him the gun, but Danny pops off.
I want my sister back, fucker!
Except he's a hologram. We cure Danny, and the Warden Cole initiates self-destruct. We sprint off to where the escape pods are, but there's only one remaining. Jacob puts on his cape and throws Danny in the pod, saving her life at the cost of his own.
Data transfer complete. That transfer worked both ways. He learned more about me, and I learned more about him.
Wait, how's he still alive? What happened to all the self-destruction? Ah, whatever. They needed to be able to make a second game anyways. Also,
I'm Himothy. Ooh, shit! That was the scariest part of the game.
and that's the end. We get 2 trophies. One for completing the game, and the other for completing it on the hardest difficulty. So, with our first playthrough wrapped up, we finished with a whopping 21 out of 27 trophies. And that meant we only had to do 1 cleanup run, maximum, to get 100% of the trophies currently available for this game. Now, if I had looked at the trophies prior to playing through the game, it would have been easy to get the plat in the first playthrough, but I decided to go for 100% everything, so that meant doing a new game plus completion as well. Honestly, the trophies I missed were so ridiculously easy that I'm going to throw them all together right here. 5 perfect dodges for the float like a butterfly trophy. You'll know it's a perfect dodge if it goes slow-mo for a second. Take a picture using photo mode for the mugshot trophy. Grim Reaper trophy for harvesting and reading all implant bios in the game, which I had only missed 1 altogether out of my first playthrough. The commonality was a trophy for finding 2 secret rooms throughout the game that I assume the cult gathered in the past. I'd only found 1 of these rooms in my first playthrough, even though they aren't too hard to find. And the final one to proc the platinum trophy was called In Striking Distance, that you get by pulling an enemy with the grip and killing that enemy with the very next baton swing. That's it. That was the platinum.
Easy peasy. And the platinum with it. I forgot that I was getting the platinum with that.
And then, of course, I just ran through the game as fast as possible to grab the New Game Plus trophy. But that was it. That was all the trophies in the game. Nothing grindy, nothing crazy. But enjoyable nonetheless, and I would always take the stat padding to my trophy list. Now, if I were to critically review the game, I'm not going to lie, it would be a little rough. The combat seemed like it was going to be a fun experience at the start of the game, but it gets giga repetitive. The story kind of seems like a pull together of other games, and there is plot holes and lack of depth. But this is not a critical review of the game, and all that matters to me is that I enjoyed my time playing it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is my first time doing something like this, and I really enjoyed the experience. I will definitely be revisiting this game when the DLC comes out, but hopefully I will see you before then. Take care.